What up, YouTube? Day number 3 of my 360-day challenge. Y'all didn't think I was going to make it, huh? I kind of wanted the same thing. I was like, it's one of those days where it's like, I ain't getting out of bed today. No way, no way, no way. The kitties are all super squishy and like, everything's all super squishy. There's like a foot of snow outside. You know, one of those days. That's what today is like. But guess what? Here I am. Yup. It's me, your girl, Crystal, all whatevered, here on YouTube. If I can do it, you can do it, okay? There is so much abundance in the world, and there's so many people out there that have such amazing stories and such amazing personalities, and they're just sitting in the silence. Oh, like, oh, I don't know if I could ever do that. Yes, you can. You can do it, okay? If I can do it, like, look at this. If I can do it, you can do it. It don't matter. If you're ugly, get yourself on YouTube. If you're pretty, get yourself on YouTube. You got a unibrow, get yourself on YouTube. If you're a crafter, get yourself on YouTube. I am 43 years old, and I've done a lot in my life, man. A whole lot that I am proud of, and a lot that I am proud of. But there is so much abundance out there, all right? And there are so many people that need to hear your story the way that you tell it. Nobody else can tell it the way that you tell it. Nobody else has a story the way that you have it. You have words in your arsenal that I don't have. You know what I mean? That will resonate with somebody and make it go, oh, click, I see. I used to think that my story didn't matter. You know, what am I? Just some overgrown freaking child, you know, just perpetually stuck as a teenager. And a part of that is true. Like, I think that a part of us, like, doesn't really leave a specific age in our life. Like, we kind of, anyways, that's a whole other story. But, like, I didn't think my story was going to matter. Do you know how many people have messaged me and told me, like, thank you for being vulnerable. Thank you for sharing your story. Thank you for putting yourself out there like that. Like, I really need to, like, everybody in the world needs to hear this story, you know. And there's some embarrassing stuff in there, man. Like, I did some really shady things back in the day. I had some really shady things happen to me, you know, or I allowed them to happen to me because I didn't know how to say no, you know. But that's a whole other thing too. But I didn't think that my story was going to be that important. And I've already saved people. Could you imagine what would happen if you picked up the pen and paper, you wrote a book? You don't need no fancy laptop. You don't need no software. You don't need nothing. You could do talk to text. You could get on here with your phone like I am right now and tell your story that will help save someone else's life. That will help someone get through what it is that you've already got through. Don't you, like, maybe that's why you went through it to begin with. You got to go through it to get through it so that way you could teach it, right? Right? Like, at one point, I thought that I was doing my due diligence, you know? Because I was like, what good is a light in an already lit up room? It's like, what good am I doing in a place where people are already enlightened and they're already, you know, like awake and aware and yada yada. Like, my job is supposed to be in the dark. Like, I'm supposed to be in the ghetto. I'm supposed to be in the gutter with the ghetto kids. You know what I mean? Because that's where the light is needed, is in the dark. It don't do no good to be a light in an already lit up room, you know? But then I realized, like, hey, I need to pull myself out of this if I want to be a teacher. Like, if I want to teach this stuff, I've got to actually get through it. That's the way that you know that you've actually learned what it is that you've learned, if you could teach it. If you could teach it, then you know it, right? So here I am, showing up in my glasses and my pajamas, okay? Look at these guys. Look at them kitty cats. Don't mind my bed. It's a mess. I haven't made it yet. I might not even make it. And what? What are you going to say about it? Nothing? I'm just going to get in there and curl up. Today is one of those days where it's like, I ain't getting out of bed today. No way, no way. But I did. I got out of bed. I was having some really good dreams. Like, you know those dreams where you're like half awake but half asleep? Some of the most intense, vivid dreams I've ever had have been like that. Where you're like in that half awake world and half asleep world. But I'm here. I made it. Day number 3 of my 360-day challenge. I am here. All right. And we need you. We need you to show up. We need your story. It don't matter. It don't matter what you look like. Okay? Like, here I am. Doing what I do. I never thought that I would make it. Well, actually, that's not true. I really knew that I would eventually. Like, if I put my mind to it, if you put your mind to it, you will make it. All right? You just keep plugging in and keep plugging in. It took me 3 years to get monetized on YouTube. 3 years. But guess what? Here I am. And if I could do it, you could do it. Like, I was a tattoo artist. I own my own tattoo shop. And that fell to pieces. Like, everything I've ever tried to do before has always kind of just fell out, you know? Always kind of fell out. YouTube ain't falling, I ain't falling out. I ain't going nowhere. I ain't giving up. You shouldn't either. You got a phone. You got some shit to say. Even if you have nothing to say, people will listen to you ramble. All right? It don't matter. If you're in your 20s, you got something to say. You in your 30s, you in your 40s, you got something to say. You've been divorced, you got something to say. You survived cancer, you got something to say. You on a weight loss journey, you got something to say. Whatever it is that you've recovered from, somebody needs to hear your story of how you recovered and what you recovered from. You got something to say. And there are people out there that need to hear it. So don't be sleeping on yourself, okay? I'm guilty. I've slept on myself. I don't think I've ever woke up at 6 o'clock in the morning for myself, you know? I'll wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning for some 9-to-5 job that I got to go to, or to get my kid off to school, or when he was going to school, you know? But I've never actually woke up at butt crack 30 for myself. I'm going to try that. I'm going to get up early on purpose. You could put anything on purpose. You add purpose to it, you can add purpose to whatever you want, and it makes it that much more special. Something I learned along the way. I got a freaking pimple. I'm 43 years old. Why the fuck do I have a pimple? But it's there. And I'm still here doing this. Okay? So you don't like, it's nice when I get all dressed up and I look all pretty and I'm all happy about it. Like, I feel great about that, you know? But I also got to get on here just as me. Like, every day, like, I might not look as pretty every single day. I might not curl my hair every day. I might not put on makeup. I might stay in my pajamas all day, but it's still me. And those of you that love me, I love you guys. I love you guys so very much. Thank you so much for just showing up, man, and being here and supporting me on this journey. I didn't even think that I would ever be where I'm at right now. I really thought that I was going to be where I was at forever, you know? Sad, miserable, a drug addict. But when you're in it, it's really hard to see the big picture. It's really hard to see that there's something on the other side of it, you know? And here I am, almost 4 years completely sober. You know, I had a lot happen in my life that I could use as an excuse. You know, when I was back in victimhood, when I lived in the hood, when I lived in victimhood, I would use whatever I could as an excuse. Like, oh, I got yelled at by a customer today, so I'm going to go drink some beer. You know, oh, I did this and this, so, like, I'm going to fight with somebody that loves me just so I could go hang out with the people that are doing dumb shit, right? because I would rather hang out with people that were doing dumb shit because that's what I wanted to be doing than hanging out with people that actually like gave a fuck about me, you know? So don't beat yourself up. Like, you can make it out of whatever it is that you're going through right now. It might feel like it is impossible. Like, at one point in my life, I did not think that I would ever make it out of the sadness that I was in. I thought I was going, that was it. I was just permanently going to be stuck, mad, angry, depressed. I didn't see any way out of that. But I guarantee you, there is a way. You will survive. You will make it. You'll be able to look back and be like, wow, I never thought I would survive that. And look at you, over here surviving. Don't give up, all right? Don't give up. And get your butt on YouTube. Just start. Just push the record button. It don't matter. It might take some years. But eventually, you'll see. The universe will see what it is you want to do. And it'll be like, all right, here you go. There you go. Be careful what you ask for, though. Because you just might